Welcome back to County Connection. I'm Robert Henning, Rockpile Museum Director, and with me, as always, is Heather Rodriguez.
Yes. Museum educator and Girl Friday, right? Right.
I'm not sure what that means, but we'll go with it. So what's happening at the museum in July?
What's cooking at the museum?
What's cooking?
So we have Wyoming Day is coming July 10th. And we also have our 51st birthday. So that's exciting. That's on the 21st of July. People can come by, grab some cookies, celebrate with us. The museum will be free that day. But 2 days before is Tractor Show.
Oh, wow.
So are your mom and dad coming this year?
I have no idea.
You have no idea whether they're going to come? Yeah.
Nope. They don't tell me their schedule.
So Tractor Show is this great opportunity for people to bring in their antique tractors. We've had engines, the hit and miss engines. We've had different pieces of machinery. You know, Gillette has been, truly the backbone of our town and this county has been machinery and even tractors, that kind of thing. So we encourage people to bring theirs. We're getting the word out into little tiny places in Newcastle and Buffalo and Sheridan. So that'll be interesting. The tractor pull weigh-in starts at 9. The tractor pull starts at 10. We're going to do a little different. I've heard from a few people now they didn't care for the way we had seating last year. That will be remedied this year. We're going to have bleacher seating. It's going to be hot. We're telling people bring your canopies or your chairs, and we'll get to watch antique tractors pull, so that's fun.
Well, good. So if I have a tractor I want to pull with, how do I do that?
So you actually need to call the museum, which is 307-682-5723. Ask to speak with me. I'll put you in touch with the Northeast Antique Tractor Group, and they're the ones that host the pull side of this.
The pull part of it. Okay, good. And they have classes, weight classes, rules, all that. That's all figured out, correct?
Yes, it does. And they actually host these all around the county all summer long. And so there's absolutely a group of people. You can come by and see they line up their tractors beautifully along First Street. Lots of different ages, but people have been doing it a long time, and we're trying to get them. Maybe we'll have some other clubs like from Sheridan, or because they're very competitive. Yeah. This is a very competitive, these are antique, so it's not a high speed competition.
It's an antique competition.
It is. Yeah.
So tell me this. I have an antique cable tool drilling rig that was used to drill oil wells in the 20s or 30s. Is that something I could bring into the show?
You have that? I feel like you should.
Hypothetically, I have this. I do not have.
It is. It's open to all those kinds of things. We tend to draw tractors, but we do want people to know that they can bring. That's a beautiful piece of our history. Yeah. And so I think those things are often sitting in people's barns or outbuildings or maybe behind the building, and they consider it maybe scrap. Yeah. But it's not. It's part of our history. And so that's actually the really interesting part about this. Not to mention, I think people who collect these kinds of things like to show them off. And there's not a lot of places to do that. And so it's also the same day as the antique car show at Frontier Auto Museum. So people can go to both. And I think we have people like Roger has pieces of equipment and cars in the other.
So we'll take everything but cars, right?
Correct.
Anything but cars and motorcycles and trucks.
Right. Because
if you want to show those off, you can go to the Auto Museum. But we'll take tractors and construction equipment, road machinery, oil field, mining equipment, anything you can get into town without tearing up the streets, of course. Let's not do that. But anything you can get into town, we'll take.
Right. Yeah. And people don't have to bring it that morning. We have some latitude with the fire department because that's their field. And so we have some latitude to bring it in earlier in the week, and we just start the lineup. And so, I actually thought it was great last year. And it's interesting because a lot of the people that bring them set up their own canopies and visit with people. And so kids love it because kids love machinery too. Yeah. And so it's a great way to come in and see things that your grandparents may not be here and you may not have a working ranch. And so it's a great opportunity for kids to see things in action. And it's free. The museum is free that day also, and so people can make a nice little trip of that. I don't think there's a charge at Frontier for their antique car show. Yeah. And so there's always things to do in July, but that's July 19th.
July 19th.
Saturday, July 19th. From 9 to 3.
9 to 3,
Yep.
Okay. So museum's free on July 19th for the tractor show, and then free
on the
following Monday for our birthday.
Right.
So a couple of chances if you're a little light in the pocketbook.
I was going to say, if funds are tight, this is a good time to come to the
Maybe
museum.
you got a big family and you want to bring, or you got guests in town.
Right.
Two days in a row, you can come visit the museum.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
great.
Yeah.
Are we open on the 4th of July?
We are. Oh, that was a nice segue. Yeah. We are open on the 4th of July for half a day because our illustrious director actually is one of the announcers for the parade. And so it's fun because it's a great view. It's obviously very clear hearing because Robert's up on his little stage talking about the different floats. And so, come to the museum early. You can park in the parking lot and get a good spot.
Yep, if you get there early enough, you can.
Yeah.
They usually do barricades.
What time does that start?
They're there when I show up, so.
Okay.
But I move them and let people pull in. As long as you know you can't leave until after the parade, you're welcome to park there.
Right.
But the museum is open and free. The air conditioning is on if it's going to be hot. The restrooms also have air conditioning.
Yes.
Because the blue houses are not super fun when it's hot.
Correct.
So,
and you can also come in and get a bottled Coke.
That's right.
From the
cool
gift shop.
Coke, cool water. Yep. Other great things in the museum store, which we'll talk about in a bit.
Yep.
But yeah, please come see us on the 4th of July. It is, the crowds I think have been getting bigger the last few years. So there's definitely more space on our end of the street. We're towards the very end of the parade. So if you're having trouble with parking or finding a spot, lots of space down on the west end of 2nd Street.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And then also coming in July, we have an intern who's with us from New Jersey, and she has a background in printmaking. And so we're going to be hosting 2 classes. Just stay tuned on either Facebook or Instagram for those classes. They'll be open They'll be open to 14 and up. And we're going to be doing some really interesting things with printmaking. And so I'm excited for her. That's kind of one of her fun things to do. And so we'll have classes of about 10 people. And just stay tuned for that information.
Good.
So.
And we have 2 interns this summer, yes?
We do. We do. Sam's just not teaching the class. But yes, we do.
And so
Sam from Tennessee.
Yeah. Sam's from Tennessee. He's currently at Baylor University.
Correct.
Kat's from New Jersey and graduated from Wake Forest recently. So they've come a long way to work with us for the summer. They'll be doing an end of summer presentation at the very end of July. Again, stay tuned for dates and times. We think it'll be Tuesday the 29th, but stay tuned on that. And then please come and hear about their work, hear about what they, the collections they worked with, the programs they did, the exhibits they worked on, and they just want to share kind of their summer and how it went. So, and there's usually food at that, refreshments. So it's a nice time.
It is, and it's kind of fun to see 2 college-age interns talk about their experience in Gillette and the things that stood out to them. And so it's part of our hospitality, right? Our Wyoming hospitality is to visit with them. And we've kind of ping-ponged now all over July. What else is coming in the middle of July?
Oh, well.
My segue.
Yes, July 16th, the Rockpile Museum Association is participating in WyoGives.
Yes.
This, I think, is their 5th or 6th year in WyoGives. If you don't know, WyoGives is a statewide day of giving. Hundreds and hundreds of nonprofits across the state participate. There are, I think, getting close to 40 Campbell County nonprofits that participate. I don't know the exact number. So for all of them, including the Rockpile Museum Association, mark your calendar, July 16th. It is a day that you can learn about what those nonprofits do. You can learn about the great work the Museum Association does for us. They support us in numerous ways.
They do.
They provide equipment. They provide kind of opportunity money, I should say. An example, historical authors coming through town, we didn't budget for it. We can't get checks very quickly because of the government process, so they can pay for that speaker. So they can help with programming, exhibits, events. They pay for the summer interns.
And they sponsored the Sheep Herders Dinner, which was absolutely fantastic. So they do a lot of things to come alongside the work that we do.
They do. They're looking at purchasing a new piece of equipment for us, which is exciting. It's a hot press vacuum table, which allows us to use a dry adhesive, and it heats that, and it presses an image or a print or an exhibit graphic onto a substrate, and just makes a beautiful
exhibit label.
Yeah. Without the way we do it now, typically is with
what we have available.
And sometimes it's difficult. It doesn't look as professional.
Clean, right?
Yes. So this is a piece of equipment that's roughly $10,000 that will help our exhibits look nicer. Flexible support is what they said.
Yes.
Yes, that's very important too.
Well, and one of the things too that we're looking at, we don't know for sure, but they also are helping us with potential large exhibits. Storyland was a huge success. And so we know that next year is our 250th. And so we have exhibits planned that are geared towards that. But 2027, I mean, we're looking at the vision of having animatronic dinosaurs as a giant exhibit. And the Museum Association may be the way that we're able to make that possible.
Yeah.
And so I think if people realize what that extended vision is of how we want to, and clearly people in this town love to have things for their kids. And who doesn't love dinosaurs? I mean, my 24-year-old daughter or 25-year-old daughter was like, I will come. I want to come to be with the animatronic dinosaurs. And so I think that broadcasting that bigger vision of where the museum is going and the things that we're doing is really, it makes it much more tangible, why that it's so important to support the RMA. So it's a good, Wild Gives is July 16th?
July 16th, starts at 12:01 and runs till 11:59.
Yes.
So the whole day you can give. There is an incentive pool, a matching pool, statewide amount of $1 million from the Hughes Charitable Foundation.
Oh, wow.
And so if you can give early, do so, because that will run out at some point. That $1 million will be dispersed. So your money won't be matched one for one, but percentage-wise will be matched based on the percentage of money given to the Museum Association.
Yes.
Up until the money runs out.
Right.
So.
And if you happen to come to the museum, you can peek in on you because you watch that like a ticker tape. Watch it.
Yeah. Well, and Tara Stone
exciting.
King, and we have Tara Stone King with the Museum Association, who really is running this year. In past years, we've helped out a lot more. So if you have any questions about this, let us know. We've got some cards you can pick up at the museum, and it has a QR code that you can go directly to our Wild Gives page.
Right.
So
And
just
pay
go to
online.
wildgives.org, I believe it is. Sorry. She's got a direct link. Anyway, wildgives.org and search Rockpile Museum Association. You'll find it. And and the bigger picture really beyond dinosaur exhibits and into the future is a new museum.
Right.
And, if you really would like to see a new museum happen, one of the best ways to support that is to give to the Museum Association.
Right. And can people potentially even earmark when they do their donation? Could they? I'm curious. I don't know that.
Not through this platform.
Okay.
Yeah, if they wanted to give to a new building, they could contact us and we'll put them in touch.
Go through a different way.
Yeah.
Okay.
All of this is through the website, online giving. It's all unrestricted gifts.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
good to know.
yeah,
Good to know.
July 16th.
Okay.
Anything else?
Awesome.
What did we miss?
Oh, well, we have all the gift shop things.
Good.
So here's my goodie bag, which love this one. As a matter of fact, the Home on the Range Rockpile Museum. You guys can get these canvas totes. This isn't new, but I don't think we've ever brought it. So this is kind of a fun commemorative Wyoming license plate that's just interesting. Great gift for people who don't live here or even yourself.
Yeah.
Let's see what else I brought. Oh, we have a new, so my dad, who has since passed away, loved Lean and Tree. And we knew that Medicap was the only place where you could get Lean and Tree, at least as far as he was concerned.
I'm not familiar with Lean and Tree.
Oh, that's what these cards are.
Really?
This
Greeting
whole display.
cards.
Yep. And so there are a lot of people that they tend to have a cowboy bend, tend to have a Western bend. We have lots of different ones, and we just got this. So this is new to the museum, and this is a pretty cute.
Are they safe for the viewing audience?
Absolutely. They're safe for the viewing
just
audience.
Wanted to make sure.
This one is.
Those cowboy jokes can get a little
raunchy.
Yeah.
They can. You're right. I'm not going to lie. And then let's see. Oh, I brought this today. I don't know if people know, this is Sassy Peach Jam. We sell jams that are all made in Newcastle. Mm-hmm. So when we're we're ready for American-made products. Well, not only is it American-made, but it's Wyoming-made.
It's Wyoming product.
Yeah, so there's some fun jams that are there. And then I brought our book about George Ostrom and a hat. And so I think this is a great story. You want to be Vanna?
Yeah.
You can hold the hat. This book belongs to the museum now because I'm doing a lovely job of it. Nice job. So what on this is a bucking horse, but it's not Steamboat. And so we get into this whole thing about Mr. Ostrom.
Not this one.
Correct. In contrast. So there's a cool story that's behind it. And in this, he actually designed that for Wyoming, and it was implemented on military vehicles and different things, but at a later time, Steamboat was chosen. And so this is Red Wing. And what I love is that's and I don't know, maybe you can shed light on that, which one predated. I think this predated Steamboat, correct?
I believe so. I believe that's the history.
Okay. And so the history's in the book, and Mr. Ostrom, an artist. So we have now started carrying the Red Wing hats, but also his art. And so this is a print that's available. And we have postcards, and we also have pieces of art. This is new for us to carry that. And so I love that. And then you can get the history too about Red Wing. And I just feel like with people who are great fans of Wyoming, to know that there was another bucking horse that was used on military vehicles, that kind of thing, that's an interesting piece of history. And a lot of us don't know that. So that's what we do at the museum, is we're working hard. And maybe you want to share a little bit about working on the new exhibition plan, but that's what we do. We're trying to make history of this area not just accessible, but how does it impact the viewer, the visitor? And these are things that I think people find fascinating. We've already had people come over specifically to get the hat from Buffalo because they heard the history. And so this is just another angle of Wyoming history.
Yeah, and it's really nice to have products in the store that have historical connections, and that's what we try to do with the store, is to provide a little bit of Wyoming history that you can take with you.
Yes.
Yeah, whether you know it or not. Maybe you just like the look of the hat.
Right.
But a lot of history there. Ostrom was a World War I vet. Correct. He did go across to Europe, and he took Red Wing with him.
Yes.
Red Wing didn't come home. He ended up selling it
in France
to the French government, as what we read. But he also drew about Wyoming soldiers' experience in World War I. And those drawings are amazing, and we're hoping to have those on display someday at the Rockpile Museum. So,
and even these depict Wyoming life. And so I think people, he has a beautiful, it's just pen and ink, of a man doing fence. And I just think to myself, that is actually an image that I saw my family do a lot. And so to commemorate those things means it's an experience, right? And it's a shared experience in this area. And so I think, especially loving art, that those are beautiful things for us to have.
Yeah.
And we have things that no one else in town has.
For sure.
So.
Yeah. When is the museum store open?
Oh, well, the museum store is open the same as our operating hours, Monday through Saturday, 8 to 5.
Great. And Museum Association members get a discount in the store, correct?
Correct, they do. And if people will become museum RMA members, they can buy a family pass for $40 that covers their entire family for the entire year, as many visits as they want. So
no admission?
No, that's the admission.
Oh. So members are
Just
free.
one
Members have free admission.
Yeah, well,
And a
that
discount
membership-
in the store.
I know, like it.
Goodness gracious, I should become a member. Wait a minute.
You are.
I am a member. Yeah.
So yeah,
Are you a member?
You know what? My daughter's a member, so I could technically get in
That's
hers.
funny. All right. Anything else today?
That's all I have in my goodie bag,
Okay.
but I do love this. I just feel like that's quintessential Wyoming. Oh, it looks so nice. So high on your head.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, I don't want to actually put it on. It's somebody
That's
else's
fair.
hat.
That's fair.
But, you know.
That's fair.
Okay. Well, thank you, Heather, for coming.
Thank you.
Come and see us at the museum, 900 West 2nd Street. Visit rockpilemuseum.com or find us on Facebook or Instagram.
Correct.
You can call us, send a carrier pigeon. There's many ways to find
signals.
us.
Yeah.
Yes. Just come and see us this summer. We'd love to have you in for a visit.
Yes, we would.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.